multiple updates on the Devils, some major implications here. Usually more is better than less, almost all the time in sports, unless you're watching golf. Welcome in to Devil's Digest. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Some injury news, and I promise you guys, this time it's good. Cody Glass could return to practice this week, not being ruled out for the weekend. Head coach Sheldon Keefe. Looking at Glass's numbers so far for the Devils this year, very good. Probably better than most of us expected. 8-game sample size, he's got 6 points. He's a plus or just even every single game. Now, I know plus minus isn't a huge statistic, unless it's an outlier. Being a +1 in a game where you lose 7-3, that's pretty good, pretty tough to do. Hasn't had a game yet where he's a minus player. So, not a big plus-minus guy, but when you look at the type of number that it is, and it's a little bit high or a little bit low, and it's an outlier, then it looks good. Then it means a little bit more. So, Cody Glass, obviously, when he's on the ice, good things are happening. So, Cody Glass, look, he comes over here from Pittsburgh. Expectations to be, maybe that third, fourth line center, can maybe rotate with Lazar. Not expecting anything huge out of him. And I know it's a small sample size, but he's completely surpassed expectations. And I definitely have to be someone who says that, because when the Devils first traded for him, I wasn't, super excited for it. I didn't really see a fit. Cody Glass has proved me wrong, and I'm very, very glad about that, and definitely rooting for Cody Glass going down the stretch. Excited to, seems like we're getting him back soon, possibly this weekend, but 6 points in 8 games for the Devils. That's for Cody Glass. Now, how important is it to get a player like Cody Glass back in your lineup? Looking at from the Devils' circumstance alone, how important is it? Well, it's very. Go ahead and look at, the numbers so far for the Devils in the past 10 games. Top 6, pretty good. Nico, Hischier, Jesper, Bratt, Timo, Meier, very good. Outstanding. Probably playing their best hockey of the season right now. Then maybe a little bit more of a drop-off. Now, is that so much because, these players aren't playing well? Or is it more so to, you're asking players to really do a lot more? And players have responded. There have definitely been players in the lineup who have responded. Erik Haula's had, a nice 3-game stretch with goals. Stefan Nason's been in there. Paul Cotter, shootout winner. Players have stepped up. But when you have a bunch of players who need to step up, who need to play even better than they were before, it's good to have another option. It's good to have Cody Glass coming back in the lineup. Because, Justin Dowling, maybe really isn't a third-line center. He's not usually playing that role. He's sometimes on the fourth line, sometimes, that 13th forward out of the lineup, but usually not in a third-line role. You bring Cody Glass back in, well, there's your third-line center. And he fits a third-line center role. Kurtis Lazar fits a fourth-line center role. Dawson, Mercer, you're hoping on upside. Nico Hischier's been fantastic. So when you look at that, you need players to step up, it's always good to have another option. It's always good to have another player who, well, if this guy's not giving it, we have this guy. That's what the Devils will need going forward. It's going to have to be a group effort. We know that, we have our stars. Our stars are playing like our stars. But when you lose one of those stars, you need players to step up. You need extra goal scoring. You need goal scoring in your bottom 6. Devils have struggled to get bottom 6 goal scoring. I see Andre Plot in there right now, but he's not always there. And Andre Plot's one of the players who has, elevated his game. He's probably had his best season up to date so far in the 3 years he's been with New Jersey. Maybe the numbers aren't, still spectacular. Not, those 45, 50-point seasons in Tampa Bay, but they're better. And at this point in his career, they're good, not bad. So when I look at that, when I go, Hischier, Mercer, Dowling, Lazar down the middle. I like Hischier a lot at the top line. Kurtis Lazar feels good on the fourth line. That middle, maybe not something that, gets you over the top, overexcited. Not something that, makes you jumps off the page at you. So when I see something like that, and you see a center coming back who, short sample size, has jumped off the page, it's something that makes you feel a little bit more optimistic. Because you got to be good down the middle going into the playoffs. You got to be good down the middle in the playoffs. Maybe they're a little weak at second line center, and, they're good third line, they're good fourth line, and they're great on the first line. And that's not saying, that's not so much something throwing, something at Dawson Mercer, but I think we can all agree, maybe not the season we maybe wanted from him, or maybe that he was expecting. But he's a player with upside, and I really do like upside. When you go into a playoff series, and a guy maybe hasn't played up to his potential, but you're still in that series, and then he gets, starts to play up to that potential, well, it can change a series. That's kind of what you're hoping for Dawson Mercer in these playoffs. I said it a couple videos ago. We don't really care. You know what? Whatever's happened so far, the first 65, 70 games, if he can just come in here and play these final 10 games like he did 2 seasons ago or better, it's good. It works. Final 10 games and the playoffs play well too. That's what you're feeling at Dawson Mercer right now. But then you go in, you bring in Cody Glass. Cody Glass fits a bottom 6 role for this team. Expected to be back soon. I hope he is, because we all know Saturday's game, New York Rangers. It would be nice to help put a little bit more of a dent in their season. Because, that's a big game. They need that game. We, maybe not need the game, but it'd be nice to get it. We know our magic number. It's 8 points. It would start to change a little bit more with one of the teams that's maybe catching us right now. Definitely trying to get in a playoff spot. But that's a big game for both teams. New Jersey, maybe in a little bit more of a comfortable position, but you're going to get a desperate Ranger team. So it would be nice to get Cody Glass back in the lineup and kind of match with what the Rangers are doing down the middle. Because, matchups are obviously important, and even more important when you have home ice because you decide the last line change. But Cody Glass, possible return this weekend. Ranger game Saturday, 12:30. Hope you're watching. Hope you subscribed. But let me know down in the comments what you think. How impressed have you been with Cody Glass? Because I've been pleasantly surprised, and I'm definitely rooting for him the rest of the way, and I won't doubt Cody Glass ever again. All right, guys. You all have a good one, and hopefully you subscribed, and I'll see you here all real soon. All right. I'll see you guys.